Hello.
I had to get another.
We had some time things on our end, but we're here.
It's my fault. I'm the lone Central Time person, and so everyone's like, "Yeah, 4 p.m." And I'm like, 4 p.m. is perfect for me. Totally forgetting I'm in Central Time. So when the two others say, "Yeah, 4 p.m.'s great," they're not talking about my time.
Well, also, you used to be our time as well. So
yes.
It's not even like, 2 versus 1. It's you literally used to be part of our time zone.
I was.
And now you're not. But we're here. We have picked a writing prompt.
Mm-hmm.
I filled mine in. I believe Chandra is. I don't know the status of Natalie's, but we don't have to fully fill it in before we start. I just wanted to because it took me forever last time.
Oh, mine will be ready. I'm throwing stickers on right now for my 10 words.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I like a random grab and go method. I actually prefer to pick my words first and then look at challenges or how can I make the words work for the prompt and everything. Any of those things I let the words guide me.
So for the last one, I did none of the sticker words start with the same letter as each other, and I did that again this time. But I started with the last time for people who are like, what last time? Last month. No, not last.
November.
In November.
42 days ago.
In November 2024, this book came out from the same 2 authors, and I put them above where their names are on the book when I come. So Natalie and Chandra.
There we go.
We just picked a writing prompt, and I used the stickers in the back of the book to be the word to fill in the blanks as well, because that was just what I wanted to do. And I then included those in the alphabet as I was going through the stickers, picking what we did. I just found it. So the words that I included in the prompt were book and first, but you'll see that I went back and chose A and then skipped B because book was already done, and then C, D, E, skipped F, and then kept going. And this time around, I started with whatever letter I did, and then I did not go back to earlier in the alphabet. I just kept going.
There you go. I mean, you got 26 letters to choose from.
Which will make more sense once we start doing it. But we're going to do it for, did we do 30 minutes or 25 minutes last time?
I think we did 25.
Yeah.
Okay. We don't have to do that first. We could talk about the book, how it's different from the first book, but just wanted to remind people that there is a first book out. Unlike fiction, there is literally no reason why you would think you'd have to do one versus the other, or in any order. But please know that there are no repetitions between these. So any of the stickers, no repeats. Any of the writing challenges, no repeats. Any of the writing challenges, no repeats. So you really can go ham. But for the purpose of doing this live stream, we only worked within this book because this book hadn't even come out yet. And then for this book, at least for me, the words I picked were only from this book. And personally, the challenge that I picked for the prompt that we will be doing is also from this book, but there's no reason to say you can't mix and match. But I'm not going to do the math and figure out how many options how many permutations that gives you, because it was already a pain in the butt to figure out that 101 writing challenges, 101 writing prompts, and 1,000 word stickers means you have over 2 octillion combinations possible.
Which is actually a little bit more than that, but
it was more. It was definitely more than 2 octillion, but it wasn't enough to say 2.5 octillion.
Yeah. I mean, like, there's just it's so tailorable to whatever you need. Like,
Yeah.
so I did a Flash Fiction Best Line Championship bracket challenge, and I took 16 flashes that I wrote in here and 16 flashes I wrote in here. And
Yes.
believe it or not, the final two
Were
one from each book.
it worked out that way.
Yeah, it worked out, even though it was completely random. By that point I completely forgot which one was assigned to what. And then the one that won was from page 29. Hold on, getting there. It says the first time blank, and I put that as the first time almost became the last.
I like that.
Is what I ended up doing. And I had my 10 words. And then my challenge that I chose for the one that is posted on my Instagram right now, which by the way is a complete
And we
draft
are
page.
a collaborator on it. So if you want to go to Inimitable Books Instagram account, you can check that out there. Also, we did a giveaway. So at the end, towards the end of the stream, we will be seeing who won this. Well, not this one, because this is the one I'm about to write in, but the other copy that I have kept separate to make sure I don't accidentally write in. But it'll first be sent to the two authors so they can sign it, and then it'll be sent to you. So it'll be fun. I need to remember which platforms we had that running on. Because I don't think I have a website that lets me grab from all the different platforms. We might have to do this like a little Rube Goldberg.
I know Instagram is one.
I know Instagram is one. I believe TikTok. Did I also do Threads? I know Ko-fi was not one of the platforms because I don't think there's any common picker that exists for that. But yes, so it is on Instagram if you would like to see Natalie's winning one. But I just want to say that after so many of the picks that I picked in that bracket challenge didn't win, at least this one did. And this is my favorite of the whole one.
Which is so funny. Like, it's because the fact that you can choose like a best, like a line, it's this whole process made me realize how important in a flash where each line is strong together. Because I know some of those lines, people are like, this sucks. And I'm like, no. But the way it comes in the story, like the timing of this line or something like that is what makes it wonderful. But of course, when I just pull out one sentence, people are just like, nee.
But also it depends on like you saying what is a good line is completely subjective to begin with. Yeah. And so people being like, oh, that's not good. I'm like,
that's why I needed Chandra's help. I was like, I can't pick one, just pick one for me so I can move on. And yeah, I definitely got Chandra's help on that. And then with this, either way, I was quite happy with this flash. The challenge I ended up going with was the characters meeting on one of their worst days. Like on one character's worst day, because you can never help when you meet someone. So I thought that was like a beautiful challenge to have, is when you got a meet cute, but someone's having a bad day. Okay. And it's not so cute.
Okay. Instagram got weird and hid someone's comment that was entering the giveaway. I don't know why. Thankfully, I saw that. It was like it showed Stephanie's individual comments, and this other person had commented all in one, where they said the comment 2025, which was how you entered, and then they tagged 3 people in the same comment. Whereas Stephanie had done 4 comments altogether, and I don't know why they would have thought one of those was spam and the other wasn't, but that's okay. We're funding the giveaway posts on all of these different platforms. Okay, no one entered on the Threads one, so that's fine.
It's okay.
Yeah. Threads is, a lot of...
Threads is really weird about, like, anytime you put a link or at somebody or anything like that, it's like, will anyone ever see it? Meh.
I know, but then it's like I don't feel good about like posting stuff and not tagging the authors.
So what I've started to do is whenever I tag someone or post something, I write the post and then I comment like the first comment and pin it
What
to
is your tagging comment?
yeah.
Okay.
And like the only time I comment something like with 1,000 Words to Ignite Romance, I commented with the picture, and I think I put a link on there. But even with putting a graphic on it, I pinned that as my comment because otherwise no one will see it. For the most part, if it's like graphics, pictures seem to be fine most of the time. But if it's like graphics or links or tagging, Threads does not love that. I don't. It is strange.
Yeah. That's weird. Okay, I'm trying to find the posts so that I can do the thing. Because it turns out people only entered on the Instagram post, so it is going to be easy to pick the winner.
Yay!
And the Spark of Romance was the caption. We're going to do this. Comment replies. And no, never mind. Okay, I was going to say that's different. Okay, so we'll do that a little bit later. Hello. Eva, Cool Gamer, and Veronica, as I would say Regina, but I mean, I did give you a copy, so I don't know if you want to enter the giveaway again, but this is your last chance to enter the giveaway. We are only going to be doing it through Instagram because people didn't comment on the other posts, and it's just going to make it so much easier for me to pick a winner if it's only from Instagram. If you enter here, so linked here in chat, and at the end or almost at the very end of the stream, we will be picking the winner. But Regina's saying I plan to use one of my copies for working on my 2025 Romance in Colorado Billionaire series, which is very, very exciting. Regina said that she just ordered 2 copies, so thank you.
I will say I had a proud moment. My daughter came down. It's like, Mom, you got your 2 books, right? I'm like, yeah. And she's like, can I have 2 copies? And my husband, we ended up having an entire discussion where my husband said that was incorrect for her to say because it made it come across that she wanted 2 copies of each. And I was like, no. There's 2 books, so 2 copies, one of each makes sense. I was like, she's my daughter. I understand her. It's fine. That discussion aside, either way, it was so
to me,
cool.
I would be like, yeah, you can have 2 copies, but that could have been 2 copies of one of them or 1 copy of each.
Yeah, I took it as one of each, and that's the way she intended it. So we were on the same wavelength. Alex was just off.
I mean, my grandma would have been like, yes, you can, but
yeah. So it's very nice because I got my other 5 copies of Ignite Romance today perfectly, and my daughter already grabbed Get Started. So it's
wait, it got there in time.
Yes.
Yay.
So my daughter has already grabbed the Get Started, and so it's kind of cool that she's getting in on it. I don't know.
That's awesome.
Who knows? She could be selling it on the black market. I don't know.
I mean, you know what?
Money. I mean, if she can upsell it, she's doing our marketing plan. So,
right? Like, we'll put her on the payroll. That's cool.
Oh yeah, I'll give her a cut.
Yeah. Okay, so we're both here. For people who don't know who you are both author tubers. You are the co-hosts of Flash Fiction Live.
We're cut from the same cloth. Sisters from another mister. Writing sisters. Like, I mean, can you not tell the family resemblance, honestly?
Yeah, if you look, like, there's the camera's almost like mirrored, really.
Oh yeah, like twinsies 24/7 in our writing.
Yeah,
added the same, little
like even
to Chandra from Natalie.
It's funny though, because Chandra and I do write differently, but at the same time it's so similar. But I think it comes from a love of flash fiction. So the way this started, for anybody who doesn't know, is that we were doing flash fiction together. Chandra joined in, and I made the mistake of reading one of her finishing a prompt that I was in the middle of writing of. So I learned that lesson quickly, and I haven't done it since. 3 years later, we still like to do flashes together. And as we've been doing flash fictions together, we have really enjoyed making it more of not even a challenge. It's like we were looking at it as like we're writing gym buddies type thing. Like your brain is a muscle. And so we've been doing things and practicing techniques, which is where the challenges have come from, of like, I want to write a story where everyone has a soulmate. I need to practice that. And flashes are great because you get a lot of leeway for certain things not being on the page and just understood that there was something, things that happened before the flash started, and there's things that are happening after. So this little snapshot is a moment. And so even though Chandra writes a lot of death and really
and murder,
like gruesome stuff, I do a lot of like switcheroo where you think it might be death and murder, and then it turns out it's just a kid home alone freaking out or something. Like I do a little switcheroo. Then I also dabble into the dark side and make you cry because you think the dog will die. It's like I'm gonna have a little asterisk or something like the movies do.
Does the dog die? Is a website, I think, or does the dog die in this movie? There's a website.
I needed that. Sorry, side note. My daughter, so we were watching After Earth, like that's how old this thing is, where Will Smith's son is fighting for his life because this huge not real bird is going to kill his character, and he's fighting for his life. And so he ends up killing the bird, who also has babies too. So now the babies are probably not going to survive. My daughter was inconsolable when this came out. And I was like, it's not real. It's a CGI bird. It's not even like looking like another bird that exists. No, this bird is like the biggest bird you've seen in your life. So either way, yeah.
Does the dog die? If you click on the thing that says all triggers in the menu, you can be a little bit, it's not just dogs. You can be more you can be less specific and say an animal. Although apparently dog, cat, and horse have their own specific categories. Then there's a pet specifically dies, not just an animal, but a pet. There's one where they are not treated well. And then there's a one where an animal is sad. It's just sad. It doesn't even matter if it's not harmed. It's sad. There's so many categories.
I can't actually then take like a video of Dobby because he is always sad.
Oh yeah, Sarah McLachlan is singing "In the Arms of an Angel." That cat is. If you're not aware, he'll pull the wool over your eyes, and you'll just give him everything.
He'll just look at me with sad eyes and cry if I don't do exactly what he says.
Riley once successfully conned my mom into giving her a second dinner, and I caught her midway through. So she technically got a dinner and a half that one night. And then 2 weekends ago, we were at my uncle's, and she almost successfully conned me into giving her a second breakfast until I checked the meal count, because my mom had brought an extra meal. And the fact that there's only one left, I'm like, I think this means mom fed her already. And I told my mom, she's like, Yeah, I fed her. And I'm like, yep, that's what I thought. Nice try though, Riley. Nice try.
They're so good. They're so good about that. We've changed up routines a little bit for Piper, but she would, she had a spot where she would sit to get her meals. And
sorry, my husband's looking at me like I'm crazy.
I thought you were working.
I was working until I got the text of, hey, release day. And that's when I realized I don't know how to tell time between time zones.
that she is crazy, but not for the reasons you might think.
Yes.
At least you know a 24-hour clock, unlike some people. Because when you sent that screenshot, I was like, I know what that means.
Yeah, I messaged my daughter, and I, instead of saying PM or AM, I did the military time of 1600, and that's when I realized I failed as a parent, because she was like, Mom, what time do you need me ready? And I was like, 4 p.m.
Well, no, her exact words to you were, yeah,
I don't speak military.
That's so funny. Or like people who actually just have that set on their like their phone when you look at the screen and it just has it in
military.
Which
is interesting. Other countries, like when I lived in Germany, they went by military time. That's
my cousin was
easier.
My cousin, who was born in the U.S. and grew up in the U.S. and et cetera, has lived in England for a long time because she studied abroad, met her husband. He was the one giving the tours. It sounds like a rom-com, basically is a rom-com. One day will probably become a rom-com. And anyway, I was hanging out with them earlier last week, and we had gotten split up in the Metropolitan Museum of Art, which for those of you who don't know is a really big building. And because it was the week between Christmas and New Year's, it was really, really crowded. So I happened to find one of them, and then the other one texted, and she had texted her husband, who's European through and through. And so his phone was in military 24-hour time. And I was like, haha. But yeah, no, I don't do that even when I do go somewhere else, because in my brain it's easier for me to just be like, if it's a time zone, I can just subtract a number and figure it out versus, but if I'm in the same time zone, then I can be like, oh yeah, you just minus the 12. But if I was, in England and in the 24 and then try and do the math to figure out what time it would be in New York, I'm like, I don't want to do the 24 math and the time zone math.
That's too close to a train leaves New York at the same time a train leaves New Orleans going this miles per hour. No,
no thanks. I left word math problems behind.
Oh gosh, they are the worst.
Where they belong.
Yeah.
I do just use like a world clock for that. That's one hand like where you can go in and be like, I would like to have these time zones always like on my list. Please.
And World Time Buddy is great.
Yeah.
Okay, we got very, very sidetracked. Anyway, these two did live stream.
We did talk about a rom-com in real life.
Yes, yes. And honestly, they also live in a neighborhood that has been featured in a rom-com. So I'm like, this is just...
Oh, come on.
Yeah. Eva would ask, insert assistant, and says, what time is it in? Yeah. But when I was last in China, this was way before any of those existed.
Fair. Yeah. So the other problem that I have is I live very close to the edge of my time zone. So depending on where you drive, and it can like change. And then if your phone doesn't update, it can, how sometimes I feel like it's gotten better, but it used to be like where you had to restart your phone or something before it would update the time zone.
God, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I know this is wrong, but if you forgot to change it and then your brain forgot that you forgot you changed it, the panic of...
Yes. It can for sure cause some chaos. So...
Okay, so if you are in the audience and you have a copy of 1,000 Words to Ignite Romance and would like to write the same prompt that we are, And by that, I mean the same starting prompt, but you will fill in your own words for the two blanks. And you do not have to use sticker words to fill in the blanks like I do. I just, I'm using these stickers for all they're worth because it took time. We spent a lot of time on these. Okay. I had to tell Simon & Schuster that, yes, we are actively not going to be making a version without stickers, which will cut down, apparently, on the number of libraries that will be willing to stock the book because the stickers are one-off. But, no, that was the thing. I spent time finding a printer that would do them. It was a lot of back and forth on that printer, being like, you need to have, you can't have the important stuff on the hinge where it's being glued, but it's a printer in China, so they use millimeters. And they didn't tell me that.
They, I will admit, it's the whole reason why Chandra and I, when we realized, hey, we could write a prompt book, the biggest thing that sent us was, we need stickers. I don't know where their idea came from or whatever, but we latched onto it, and
I took that assignment seriously. So I use them for everything, and I will use them until I run out. But you do not have to.
She became our advocate because she saw the power in the stickers as much as we did.
We were all.
Yes, adults deserve sticker books as well. We deserve sticker books too.
I was very, very happy to hear that we were getting stickers. I mean, I know we were all ready to fight for it, but it was like one of those things of like, yes, this is what we needed. I did also get all of my words picked.
Yay!
So, I got my prompts blanks filled, and I picked my challenge.
Great. So I'm going to tell everyone what page we're on. We can go through and say, how about we say words first?
All right.
And then your challenge.
Be interesting if we have any overlapping words. I mean, there's like a 1 in 1,000 chance.
Yeah. So we can either you say all your words and we pass through and then we go around and say our challenge, or you say it all in one go. What do you ladies prefer?
Let's do one go.
Okay. Chandra, congratulations. C comes before N and Z.
And comes first, which is why she's the first on the book. Yes. That way it can pop up sooner.
Yeah.
I was adamant about that.
Last name.
I don't care about like whose name is first. I cared about it because I knew search engines will put Chandra first. She
said, what's the SEO?
We got a C and an A. We're going to pop up first alphabetically.
Yes. Okay. I am starring this comment, Eva. We will have talks after this live stream ends unless their significant others and babies, fur, or human tell them it's time to eat and they get pulled away. But page 237, the prompt is wishing blank is blank. So
what's beautiful is that blank can be more than one word.
Yes, and we do say that in the how to use this book because we did have discussions about that when I was formatting and being like, so these blanks are really long because we don't know how big someone writes, and that's totally valid, but also we should tell them whether, like, they can do whatever they want, but sometimes someone won't do something unless they know it's allowed. So
a lot of people do like guidance, and we do have, I think we say like, or we've said it before, we're like, if you're questioning anything, artistic license, whatever you want at that point.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that does make it a lot easier. I'm very by the book, but sorry, I can't help myself. But I do like to be able to write in, a phrase instead of just having to put one specific word. And I think too, it makes it more flexible if you're wanting to change the tense or something like that. You can word it a specific way so you can write your story in whichever tense you want. The words that I chose, we're doing words first, right?
Yeah, we're going to do words and then challenge, but you're going to say it all. So you're not going to say your words and then pass it off to Natalie. You're going to say your words, the challenge number, and then what the challenge is.
Okay, so I did. Oh, are we saying how we wrote the prompt as well?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So I did wishing for your love is not enough, and it was wishing blank is blank. And then I did beast, cup, efficient, silk, flutter, prompt, runaway, guard, sudden, and tunnel.
Challenge.
Also, as a sidebar, that this would be funny because you wouldn't be able to do the challenge. I don't know. I think this challenge is in the first book, but you wouldn't be able to use some of these words for the no double consonants one. So that is definitely when you want to check your words first if you're doing a challenge like that.
Yes.
But I picked challenge number 11, which is write a declaration of love.
Nice. Okay.
Cool. That's not one of the ones I've already done. Okay. So, we need to play the lottery because, honey, we both picked beast.
Oh, that's funny. Like I said, we
very funny.
brain.
Oh yeah, we're on the same wavelength. All right, but it was beast, beat, waver, wake, revive, caress, carpet, cascade, scorn, revolting. Those are my 10 words.
And how did you fill in the prompt? Wishing blank is blank?
Yeah, so I did keep the blank as one word, and I said wishing time is still. And I came up with that prompt because my challenge is number 76, have your story's timeline last only 1 minute.
That's cool.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay, so I did, and then the words that fill in the blanks for me are also stickers from the back of the book. Wishing drunk is chaos.
Ooh.
And my words, so that's a C and a D. And I was mentioning earlier how I just continued in the alphabet and none of my words share the same letter just because I don't know. I made it harder on myself. And I did the same for the first book live stream. So eavesdrop, flounder, grimace, hint, idle, jest, knock, loud, memory, and navigate. And I chose those words after I decided that my challenge was going to be number 43, which is rekindle a previously lost romance.
Ooh.
I thought about that one almost.
I almost said wishing anew is, and then I couldn't figure out what I wanted the end of that to be with another sticker. So I was like, nope, we're gonna reevaluate. And then I found drunk, and I was like, yes. Wishing drunk is chaos. I'm so glad both of those words were options.
I will say at times you do feel like maybe Mad Libs was helping you create this the whole time.
Yes. Mad Libs trained us. And Stephanie is seconding the request for a young writer version.
1,000 words for young writers to get started.
I think we would do 1,000 words for young writers and then just like, it's like the get started, but we're going to make sure that there's nothing like inappropriate. Although I don't think we went too off the rails.
Yeah.
That, right? But also, I don't think
if
no person is necessarily going to know what the word Xerox is anymore, which is really sad.
Dial up.
Well, hey, we didn't say that you wouldn't need a dictionary to go along with this.
True.
That's true. Dictionary not prose and dictionary not included.
Yes. I do chuckle though because I remember in school how often the teachers would be like, "Do you think you're going to just have a dictionary with you everywhere you go?" Actually,
or a calculator wherever you go,
or map.
Hold on, I got to get my phone out. Which is so funny because I remember being so high and mighty when I was younger, where I was like, "No, my camera can't make phone calls and my phone can't take pictures," and like I just was all like retro with it, and just that was my comment all the time. And now I'm like, nah, we need it combined.
Like you have a whole Janko jeans full of all of the things that you need.
Oh my god, jelly bracelets.
Encyclopedia in your pocket. Well, actually,
I will.
I only have an
as long as I have Wi-Fi or cellular.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to put up a timer. And we're going to do the Google timer so that our other inimitable stuff doesn't distract people.
And then we're going to create a Google Doc, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But I am going to handwrite this in mine like I did the last time so it matches the experience. And then I will type it while they are both talking, or I will type it and they will do it on their next live stream.
Sweet.
So the prompt is down here. You can fill in the blanks with as many as you want. Remember, the only actual rule for this is your whole thing needs to use the words you selected. So any 10 words that you use, you don't have to include the prompt as a sentence in your piece of fiction if you don't want to. You don't have to. But all the words that you do write and consider part of the story need to be 1,000 or less. So 1,001 is just over. Make it a contraction. He apostrophe S. You're going to do that and you're going to save yourself. Okay.
Hyphenate too. That's good.
Yes. Hyphenating does do that as well. Okay, so in 3, 2, 1, happy productivity, everyone.
I'm never ready. I got like 3 more. Like I know what's gonna happen. Stuff, but yeah, this one was a little hectic.
This one was a little hectic for me too.
It's for sure. It's a vibe.
Yeah.
As somebody who writes romance normally, I feel like I cheated because I didn't actually write the romance.
Isn't it nice though?
Oh,
'Cause you
there's
don't have
different
to.
levels of romance. There's platonic and everything. Like, I mean, Chandra and I dedicated this to each other for our platonic love.
No, I know, but like you'll understand when I'm reading it. You'll be like,
Okay.
"Oh, you danced around it," which I have not been allowing any of the authors in the books that I've been editing to do. But given this is
It's a flash. It's fine.
it's a flash and would be like this is like the type of scene that would come to my mind and I'd write it and then a whole novel would grow from it if it were me.
That's fair. But also with flash fiction, you have that like where there's something that's unsaid. So I don't feel like it's necessarily cheating. It's kind of a feature of the genre.
Yeah.
I also realized that I was going to put in 2 words and I couldn't decide what it was, but I was also running out of time. So I, 1, spent some time researching, which I didn't mean to do. And 2, I left a spot in there where it just says XXXX and XXXX, where I meant to put my answers in. But I did get all of the words in.
Cool. Okay. So before we read them, let's do the winner.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Who's gonna win?
Let me remember how this thing works. There's 6 comments. I wanted to screen share it, and instead I clicked start, and it automatically started going, I think.
Oops.
Stephanie won.
Yay!
Yay, Stephanie.
It was for tagging her friend Always Ginger. And so Stephanie, you will get a signed copy of this by both authors, and we will ship it to you once we, get it to both of them. We're gonna have to figure out which one of you will get it first, and et cetera, et cetera.
We'll get there. We will make it happen. We are driven individuals. But if you ask our spouses, we're stubborn.
What's the difference?
I said, please DM us your address, please. I was very polite, but also just a little repetitive.
It is
Will we send
it is that time of the day.
Yes, it is that time of the day where we get a little bit loopy. But I will be making a post about that tomorrow and also tagging Stephanie across social media so that hopefully she will see that. But Chandra, do you want to read yours?
Yes.
And you don't have to say the word count unless you typed it, because I did not type mine and I have no idea of the word count except for the fact that I know it was definitely under 1,000 words.
I did type it. I have 277 words. I did pause to do a little bit of research. There is an homage to a classic piece of literature, so you'll probably be able to pick that out, which is the research that I was doing, because I was like, I need to quote this line exactly. I think I know what it is, but I want to double check, because that's how you get yourself into trouble. Hold on. I am going to add something for the X's so it makes sense.
Okay, that's it. That's all you're allowed.
That's it. And then, okay, ready. So here we go. Emma had been a beast all morning. After dropping her cup of coffee, breaking her favorite mug, nothing about the day seemed to go right. Usually very efficient, she'd managed to derail a meeting at work, tank an interview, and point out a big enough problem that the tunnel project would be delayed at least 5 years if it ever actually got completed. She was just starting to think she'd left the curse behind when she put the grocery bag on the counter and found that she had grabbed sweet relish instead of dill relish. Maybe efficient was the right word for the systematic chaos that had followed her throughout the day. Emma decided she wouldn't iron the silk shirt she'd planned to wear tomorrow this evening after all. The sooner she got in bed and slept off whatever this curse was, the better. She opened the fridge, reaching for the bottle of wine, but stopped when a pink slip of paper fluttered to the floor. She unclenched her jaw after reading the prompt. In your favorite book. Emma walked through the house, picking up the book that was always at arm's reach. She couldn't help feeling on guard, noticing the lit candles in the kitchen and living room. Freddie knew better than to leave a flame unattended. The second note was just inside the cover. Wishing for your love is not enough. P100. She flipped through to the correct page, where the page marker highlighted her favorite quote. It wasn't one of her page markers. She was filled with sudden apprehension. The line that was highlighted, you've taught me to hope. And before she let her feelings loose like a runaway train, and that is the end.
Fun. I'm like, oh,
So
every single time, this is the issue with flashes. Every single time it's, I need more. Give me more. What else is happening? What else is going to happen?
I did stop because I was like, if I write more, then it's not just a confession of love. It's maybe actually a proposal instead of a confession of love. So then I was like, ooh.
Yeah, you got to have like the honesty, like love and admission, and then we'll worry about like actual proposal later. Like to me, I don't think they should happen at the same time because that's a little overwhelming for somebody.
I think in fiction, if it's like a rom-com or a romance that I'm reading, I'm like, okay, yes. If it's all in one go, then like I can accept that because of genre conventions. In real life, I'm like, no. You don't do that to another person. No, no sirree. I don't care if you're a ma'am who's doing it. No sirree is what I want to say.
I would say no sir ma'am.
No sir ham. The ham is anything else.
Oh man. I think there was one of our prompts somewhere. I don't think it was in Ignite Romance, but it was like have your characters misunderstand the other person. So we got to play with words, a lot of words that sound alike. And it's like, excuse me, what did you say?
What did you call me?
Yeah.
Yes. So that is my confession of love.
So I realized I didn't go with the prompt at all, or maybe I did. It depends on, because it's, for me, it was wishing time is still.
Uh-huh.
But in this situation, I don't think the main character wants to freeze time in this moment, unless they're trying to fix it, because it is a utter chaos situation. So I ended up doing like 420 words or something like that. But I would say it took me 30 minutes to do that. And also I was interrupted a lot because family. All right. No problem. I'll just take Xavier back for his bath and then we'll trim and groom the rest of him, Gail said as she grabbed the leash from the hesitant owner. He'll be in good hands, Gail assured him. With a grimace, the man released the leash. It's not him I'm worried about. Xavier looked between his owner and Gail, who now held his leash. He immediately planted all four paws and hustled back, which caught the collar around his ears. Come on, boy, Gail goaded in a sweet voice, while the man forcibly said, heel. Xavier shook his head twice, which flung the collar off of his neck and sent the gently pulling Gail back against the treat shelf. every cat, dog, or beast treat of every size, cascaded down over Gale as each jar landed on their side. Some slid across the floor like an ice skater, while some settled on the carpet patch of the puppy pen, who woke from their naps for an impromptu snack. Xavier sat by his master's right side, as if he hadn't caused the debacle. The puppies, uh, when they cared to look up, saw a dog without a tether and began revolting via barks and jumps to join him. Gale could see more and more pups joining in to jumping on the side of the pen. But before she could revive from the shock of the treats, they had pushed it over and broken free. Stay, Xavier's owner commanded as he knelt down to stop the small paw stampede. Gale held 3 in her arms as she tried to move the pen upright with her foot when Xavier's owner appeared at her side with 2 more. There were 7, Gale huffed. The pair looked over their shoulders to see Xavier as a statue with one pup gnawing on Xavier's leg, while the other appeared to notice Xavier's fluffy tail. The man grabbed the jailbreakers and handed them sheepishly back to Gale before he began picking up the treats that littered the floor, some already crushed by their footsteps. Gale caressed one of the puppies' heads before turning to help sweep up the floor. Can I help you with bathing him for the first time? The man asked Gale. Gale opened and closed her mouth before sighing and nodding. Starting to think that maybe I should have had y'all sign a waiver instead of me sign one, he chuckled. The veiled scorn behind Gale's focus disappeared as laughter took over. If we're gonna wash together, we should know each other's name. I'm Gale. Well, I'm Charles, and you've already met Xavier.
That was
I'm
very
not proud of the ending, but I am happy with the X-Men nod, at least.
Yes. Very cute.
The whole time, like I said, I had fun with the chaos that I imagined going on, and just this and the fact that we have a disobedient but overly obedient dog, like that just felt like a complete oxymoron to me.
Well, it's like super obedient when he wants to be, because Riley's super obedient. She just sometimes doesn't hear you.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's that, but also some dogs, until you work with them, they're like, I don't really know you, so you don't get to tell me what to do.
Yeah. It's like, you haven't earned the right to give me a command.
Yeah. That's cute though. I like that. That's a very neat, cute.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of indicative of writing, for sure, of my writing. This, like, just, sure, of course, puppies would cause chaos. And I imagined that dog, by the way, being a husky for some reason in my mind.
Oh, that would actually make perfect sense.
Accurate.
Yeah, Xavier is a husky in my mind, and I just imagine him to be like a immense amount of fur.
It would have to be either a husky or like a golden retriever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that works.
Okay, Zara.
Okay. Wishing drunk is chaos, Sienna exclaimed, her mimosa almost spilling out of the tall glass as she gestured wildly. Wishing sober isn't that much better, Micah muttered. There's Aladdin, monkey's paw. I get it, I snapped before they could build up real momentum. It wasn't smart, but also I didn't think anything would happen. It's not like magic is real. Well, what else would you call your only good ex texting you out of the blue minutes after you wished on a falling star, Micah asked. On a random Monday, no less. I don't know. Who cares what it's called, Sienna cut in. I want to know what happened next. Well, I started, before deciding more liquid courage would help, and instead took a big sip of my Bloody Mary, then fought the urge to grimace at how spicy it was compared to our usual local hangout spot. She's back in town for a business event, and we made a plan to see each other. That's it, Sienna practically screeched. Thankfully, the restaurant was pretty empty, so there was no one truly disturbed by the loud outburst or tempted to eavesdrop on my answer. Just tell us what happened, Micah said, more even-keeled than our friend, before she finds a way to extract the memory herself. The last part was delivered in a deadpan tone, but I knew it was a jest. Still, my mouth opened and stayed that way like a dumbstruck flounder as I struggled to hint at what happened that wouldn't make Sienna run to my ex's hotel room and knock on the door for more details herself. I had to navigate this carefully, but drawing it out wasn't helping. The more time I gave them to imagine scenarios, the crazier things they would get. My grandpa used to say, idle minds are the devil's playground. And this wasn't the same, but the spirit was similar. Taking a deep breath, I said, we're trying it again.
Oh my God.
I like it.
The anxiety
can
of X situation, like, permeated from the page. Like, just anytime you mentioned X, I'm like, God, what?
I liked the only good X.
Yeah, I wanted to make it clear. I was like, no, this is not a bad situation. And I wanted the
that is true. There usually is a negative connotation, but by putting that extra label in there, that also makes it like just that much even better.
Yeah,
like, but there's also shade in it.
Absolute shade. It's like you're only good X.
It's like if your husband's eating your food, I say husband, but any spouse is eating your food in front of your in-laws and they say, this is the best I've ever had, and it's food you cooked or that someone else cooked, like that person is not aware of their surroundings, and they probably will not be aware of their surroundings if they live much longer. Because it's one of those things where you just got to know your audience and you can't say certain things.
But you saying that's very funny because in my family, there was someone, my mom's older cousin, who was like a sister to her because their moms like were so close to each other and best friends and also literally close to each other because they got married, had kids, and then decided, you know what, we're going to raise them 2 blocks away from each other so that they can all like grow up as siblings. So anyway, this cousin who has since passed away, unfortunately, but she used to go to a restaurant and would order something and be like, this is the best pancakes I've ever had. This is the best Caesar salad I've ever had. And it would be like, you say this every time we go to a place, not even every time we come to this place and you order that thing. It's like, next week, we're going to go to a different place. You're going to order another Caesar salad, and you're going to say, this is the best Caesar salad ever. And we're going to be like, really? She's going to be like, well, it's true. And we're like, we're glad that life is only an upward trajectory for you. But the fact that you say every single time.
Yeah, my kids, every time they put music on, this is my favorite song. And I was like, really? Because so was the last 3. And then... But the same thing happens when so we went to the Taylor Swift concert. I never believe it when any celebrity is like, y'all are the best audience. And I'm like, okay, first off, I drove 5 hours from here, so I can't really claim the local thing. Second, I'm pretty sure you've said that to every single city of how great they are.
I will say though that when I saw the Try Guys perform before all that drama, before before the bad actor was revealed, unless you were on Reddit, which why would I be on Reddit? It's like the abyss of humanity on the internet. No, thank you. Anyway, when Eugene was hosting his section and it was all about like being proud of, his identity and all that. And, he mentions like, this is the same city that has the Stonewall Inn or whatever. And I was like, and, we got very loud at that part because it was like New York Pride. Obviously, people had traveled to New York to also see them, but it was like, no, this is us. Like, that this is
we're claiming
the local audience, like,
yeah,
being loud. So
I think part of it is like almost obligatory.
Yeah.
And it's just like you say something and everyone like gets hyped for it, unless like some people really, really mean it. But it's like most of the time they just have to say something.
But what
Yeah,
is
you
fun is
gotta
that-
give a little bit.
but what is
Okay.
nice is that in Hamilton, you know, when they have all the cabinet meetings and they're like, oh, you could have been anywhere else in the world tonight, but you're here with us in New York City for a cabinet meeting, and you see it in New York. And I'm like, hell yeah. Versus when they like perform it in London and my cousin saw them, you know, the line is the same because that's how the show was written, but it's like, you're not in New York.
There was it actually reminds me of a so there's an interview with Emily Blunt. Thank you, dear. Where she was talking about she had her and John Krasinski's like last child, and the woman nurse comes up and she's like, you got the cutest damn baby. And she goes, oh, I'm sure you say that to everybody. She goes, no, because when I see a baby that's not cute, I just go, oh, look, you had a baby.
I've seen this interview before.
I love it so much.
You had a baby.
I feel like there's gonna be some people out there now who are like,
They don't know what nurse she had.
that's fair, but there are some people who are
Yes.
probably gonna be.
We're gonna put it together. Yeah, but then
Mhm.
John Krasinski, I also recently re-saw an interview. I think it was one of the late night shows. I don't remember which one it was, but he's going to England to visit Emily Blunt, who I think at
Yes,
the
I love this one.
filming, Mary Poppins Returns or something, or was filming something. And it's like, oh, what's your, purpose for the trip? And it's like, oh, I'm visiting my wife, and, I'm an actor and my wife's an actor and I'm visiting. Who's your wife? Emily Blunt. You married Emily Blunt?
Yeah.
You?
She married you.
You? And stamps it
Not
really
to mention,
angrily into
we
the
already got like on the bad list of this border patrol guy when the guy found out, because he's in England, like landing and stating his business. The border patrol guy is like border police or whatever you want to call it. It's not that, it's immigration, whatever. But he goes, oh, you're an actor, where have I seen it? He's like, well, I'm in the American office. And he's like, great. Like, like you stole it from us. Like, who cares about the American office?
That's funny.
But
Like,
then it
thanks.
was like, well, my wife, and the guy just couldn't believe it.
So this is the John Krasinski interview I just mentioned, and then
Yes.
That one's so good though.
and then Emily Blunt, you just had a baby interview, and that was on the Graham Norton one.
Yes.
Oh my god, that was 10 years ago.
Oh my
That's
god.
crazy.
Maybe it was the first kid then. If not,
I think it was the first one. Yeah.
either way, it was
Oh no, well, they reposted it 6 years ago.
okay. But
Or is
the
this
original
Emily Blunt on her new baby? No, it wasn't. No, that was a chat with Ellen, and that was not it. No, it was definitely the
Graham Norton.
Because
I remember Graham
watched
Norton.
Yeah.
Which most of the stuff that happens on his show is just downright hilarious. So
normally it's really funny. And Emily Blunt interview Natalie mentioned.
yep. So this happens every time, and it's probably why we like flash fiction, because we get to jump around from topic to topic so quickly. Like, we wrote a story, and now we get to move on to other stories.
Yeah. And
I give so much credit.
Even with it being about romance, there is a lot of like things you can do. The prompts themselves are not specifically like, oh, obviously you read this and it's automatically a romance, but that's what the challenge is in some ways. Because a lot of the challenges are specifically that. I don't think we had any in this one where it's like, don't use the letter I, like we did in this.
I
the first
almost
one.
chose the challenge. I was torn between two challenges until I saw the 1 minute one. But I was torn between two challenges, and they're practically opposites. It was 77 and 78. 77 use as many romance cliches as possible. 78 is avoiding the words like love, soulmate, fall, romance, affection, passion, lust, and yearn as the characters fall for each other. It's like, you got to convey emotion here without using your crutch words. So I just felt that they were exact opposites, and then I decided to focus on time. I've been writing a lot of meet cutes.
I almost did 79, where write 2 paranormal characters pretending to be human as they fall in love.
Which to me sounds like the most hilarious situation ever.
I
It's
feel like
like
I might end up turning that into a real story. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do that on live stream because that's going to take way too long.
That's fair, but I do hope you do that because I think that would be really cute.
I will say,
Maybe it'll be a one-off. Maybe I'll only post it
Yeah.
on Ko-fi and then like on Kindle or something. I don't know.
one of my flashes actually did become a novella, which actually after beta reading, I can meet with somebody and they have ideas to help me turn it into a novel.
That's cool.
So, because I was like, dude, I'm against a wall and trying to figure out the more subplots here because I'm an underwriter, which is again why I like Flash. But I can tell you there's at least 3 other flashes where I have ideas just swirling around in my mind to make it like either a script or a novel or like I got ideas.
I love
Yeah,
that.
I've had one that I used just backstory for one of my projects. One that I've actually added to my to be written list, where it's going to be like a probably contemporary horror, and another one that I used as the first
Contemporary
chapter.
horror, isn't that just called politics?
You know what? It's not political.
Wrong. Everything's political. If people can argue about it,
That's true.
art is political.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. Continue.
No, that's very
Good
valid. And
question.
now I'm like, what is it? Women's lit and horror.
That sounds political to me.
Yeah. Chick lit, would that be? A thriller. Thrilling horror. It's horrifying. Yeah. But yeah, that's 3, I think. 3 different flash fiction pieces that are going into actual books. So
And
Yeah, I can't wait to get to a point where I can just do this full time because I get too many ideas and I really just need to like have months without
take a writing
job.
vacation.
Yeah.
This
Because there's so many things I want to do. There's things that I've already drafted that I need to edit so it can become published and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, so many.
But
ideas.
you know, that is the nice part about this is we get to finish stuff because I feel like when you're so busy, it's hard to actually have time to finish something and it can be really discouraging. But when you can go in and do a flash fiction and be like, no, I wrote this, I finished it. Like you could write something, come back and edit it, give it a pass a day and be done with it in a week and say, this is drafted and polished and, you know, ready for some outside eyes. Whereas, you know, doing that with a book is like how? Your brain would be mush.
Yeah. I mean, some people still do it, accepting their brain will be mush and then take like time to recover, but I can't afford that with my schedule.
Right, exactly.
But
I'm just glad you could draft a flash with us in these moments. Actually, I feel like if you didn't have a prompt book, you would have like 0 time for writing.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much this year. I have been trying to write as many words as possible while also not looking at the word count at all while I'm writing. So like before I go to bed, basically right before I'm like, okay, you're going to write something. Is it going to be in Kingpin Killers, which I'm sure makes Regina happy? Is it going to be this other story that you started thinking about again in 2024, even though you had the idea, I think maybe like in 2016. And like you're just thinking a little bit of that. And then today I might count the words that I wrote for this flash as my words for the day. Because I have a lot of other work to do today. So we'll see. But it's just yeah, just doing a little something that isn't just like I'm rewording a sentence, editing someone else's stuff, for me has been like good. So
I also find though that nothing makes you want to write more than when you're not allowed to write for whatever reason.
Oh my God, one of my novellas was a shower thought.
Ooh,
And
shower
it
thoughts
only
will get
came to me in the shower, and I'm like, I'm sudsed up and everything. And this is why I bought a waterproof notepad and
I've heard of those. I've heard of
the
those.
shower.
Those actually work.
It works. But I was just so pissed so many times where I like the idea faded before I could dry off and get out and everything. And yes, okay, I should have used Siri or something, but I didn't think of that, or I didn't have it turned on back then. But yeah, it was, again, I was unable to write, and my mind went, you know what? This would make a great idea.
Yeah, I use like a speech to text for that a lot, but you got to have a system. You got to have something to write with pretty much all the time.
Yeah, some people say not to write things down. I say do. Like, I don't trust my memory. Like,
oh no, write things down. Write things down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stephen, I'm supposed to say Stephen Hawking, but Stephen King, both brilliant men. I'll say that at least. But Stephen King said he doesn't write things down because if it's a good idea, he says it will stay with you. And I'm like, no, because I write it down because later I can decide maybe it's not a good idea, but it could become the basis for a good idea. It could be an initial thing. Like Chandra and I initially wanted a prompt book, and then it became, what about stickers? Like, we kept on building upon this idea of how to make it work.
Yeah. I think one thing though that Stephen King said on his book on writing is basically, these are all things that I do. This is what works for me, but the basis of any good writing advice is like, try it. If it works for you, great. If it doesn't, then like, don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
And then I will also counter what he said about not writing it down with his wife did save Carrie from the trash can. So maybe do write it down.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's very important to write stuff down. Like, here's another example is while I'm letting a story rest and I have beta readers on it, I'm getting ideas, reading their feedback, because I can't not read their feedback. But as I get their feedback, I'm like, oh, this will be good. But I'm like, I have a rule. I cannot alter the stuff they're reading, because I wanted to make sure that they have a snapshot of as it was, not with my edits. So I have to make a note elsewhere. Hey, remember that you want to fix this.
That's what I do as well. Yeah.
I did also like what I usually draft in Google Docs. So as I'm going along, I'll sometimes even go ahead and leave a comment for myself while I'm drafting. So I don't get, like I did, I ate up probably 5-10 minutes searching for a line just to make a note of in the story. And, you know, if I'd taken that 5 minutes and continued writing, I could have done a lot more. But yeah, I think that is a way that we limit ourselves, of course, for purposes of the stream, to have a timer that we draft during. But like, if you're writing on your own, you don't have to do that. But I do find it easier.
The timer is more important to make sure you put it out there, because the whole point of a first draft is to exist. Don't worry about making it right and perfect and edit. Like, I mean, yes, we publicly read our first draft, and so there was things that I had wrong in there that I verbally corrected, like typos or incorrect grammar and stuff like that.
When you like jump from one sentence to another.
This time around, I didn't have time to like erase and rewrite in parts, so I was like jumping around while reading it a little bit, so I wasn't whereas the previous time, like, I had a better idea of what I wanted to do, so I had time to be like, oh yeah, you need to insert that in, and I'd erase it and then rewrite the sentence in the way it would be. So yeah. But let's wrap up. Also, before we fully say goodbye, though, Chandra is running a giveaway on her website where you can get featured on her page, on her website, on her blog. And you write a flash and there are, ways to enter. All the rules are in there. And it's a lot of fun. So you need to complete all the steps before January 31st at 11:59 p.m. Eastern time. Yes, Eastern time. Andrew, you might want to update your blog post to say Eastern.
Yes.
And then it will be there, so which will be very, very fun. But that is separate, so that we will share about it on Inimitable Books' account. But it will not be featured on the Inimitable Books website. This will be featured on Chandra's website, which is still really cool and is not in any way less than. I just want to set expectations correctly so people aren't like,
let people search in the right place for the rules and stuff.
Yes.
So I will update that, but very excited. We'll be featuring hopefully your flash fiction piece. So if you've got your copy of the book, do grab that, and don't forget to use the hashtag 1,000 words prompt.
Yes,
words plural, by the way.
Yes.
And if you want to see examples, I use that hashtag for the winning prompt that I posted on my page. On
special formatting to make it really, really clear what allows us to find your stuff.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So Chandra, Natalie, want to do your
outros?
Yes.
Whichever.
So I'll go just so we're in order. Consistency is key. Hi everyone, my name is Chandra Arthur. I'm half of Flash Fiction Live and co-author of the 1,000 Word series. We have our second book coming out today, which is 1,000 Words to Ignite Romance. And we have 1,000 Words to Get Started already out. So you can definitely go ahead and order those. But we do want to thank you for coming out for our launch today. And on to, let's see if I can get this right. I did it. On to Natalie.
Oh, your camera looks different than mine then, because you're
I feel like you pointed in the opposite direction.
Did it really?
Yeah. You pointed in the exact opposite direction.
Because I got you that way.
Oh, that's so funny.
That's really funny. Anyway.
Moving on. All right, I'm Natalie Locke, co-author of the 1,000 Word series. Stay tuned. Chandra and I, we edit and draft each month, once a month. We just did it this past Sunday. So next month we'll be on Chandra's channel, which I forget, February 3rd, I think.
That sounds correct.
Yeah, it's a Sunday.
The first Sunday of the month.
Usually it's the first Sunday of the month, unless some crazy holiday is happening. We usually do the first Sunday. And but yeah, join us. You can write with us, draft with us with the same prompt, or come up with your own. But it's all out of our books that we wrote, and I really look forward to everybody's own development of writing and how they change each prompt for themselves and the different words they choose. I mean, yeah, Chandra and I both had beast, but definitely different stories.
You also used the word grimace in yours, and that was one of my chosen words.
Oh yeah. And that was just me changing it. Like at first I had the person, I forget what I had them do. They did something. Actually, I was like, no, I think I'm gonna have them grimace instead.
I used chaos because I knew that was one of your words too. I was oh, that'd be funny.
So yeah, and if anyone's watching and doesn't know where they can find them on YouTube, they are both linked in the description down below. Their usernames are tagged. My name is Zara Hoffman. I'm the founder of Inimitable Books, which is dedicated to uplifting marginalized voices without pigeonholing authors into writing about their trauma. This is our first release of the new year. Woo! We're very excited
for Valentine's.
Yes. 2025 has a lot of things coming, and so we would love your support in purchasing our titles that are already out. We have our stack here. It just keeps growing and growing.
I need to start moving my inimitable stack in here because it's in living room where our big bookshelf is. I probably just need to move all the books in here. I do have one
Most
here.
of mine are right here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got
they're all
this
right.
one until the last page. I'm in the middle of reading it.
Oh, yay. I hope you like it. We have 7 novels. We have the 2 flash fiction writing prompt books. We have a divination deck. And in April, on April 1st, it is no joke, we are having our first middle grade novel come out. So very excited for that. Please pre-order our titles if you haven't already. If you pre-ordered this title and have on your receipt it saying January 6th or earlier, please upload your receipt to the forum on the book page, and you will get your pre-order incentive of extra word stickers when shipping allows. So thank you for that, and I hope everyone had a good New Year, good holiday, and is having a good start to the next 365 days. So
we thank you all for coming.
yes, thank you everyone.